Beautiful song from Phantom of the Opera. That's great, sung by Sarah Brightman and Cliff Richard, who've come in to see us this morning.
I know, and I have to make apologies to Steve Barton for stealing his song, because he sings it with Sarah on the show.
He sings it in the show, yeah.
I'm sure he does it very well, but probably...
On a par, on a par. Now, I went to see it the other night, and I must say, it's the most stunning performance, the whole thing. Your voice sounds just incredible.
Oh, thank
it's
you.
really
That's
marvellous.
kind of you.
The only thing I find about opera is when you have 5 people all singing different lines at the same time, and I'm thinking, which one should I listen to?
Well, it takes years to learn, I tell you.
Yes, it really was.
Fun to do.
Quite an incredible night, and the sets are amazing. Like the sets on time, they're both, I think we're getting into a new set age, obviously.
Well, I think high tech has allowed us to do things that you only dreamed about in the past, and whereas before you'd paint something on a you know, a piece of silk, you can now actually create it in a far more realistic way, and I think the public are going to enjoy that all the time, more and more. And that's why when, in fact, we got some, you got lovely reviews, but we got some really nasty ones, but no one actually commended us for having broken barriers down in terms of high-tech
You
staging.
expect to see high-tech in a space musical, though, but to link high-tech and opera is quite unusual.
Well, we're using a lot of the old theatrical tricks, like the trapdoors and all of those sort of things, which were already in the theatre.
But it works well then, looks good.
Oh, did you find it sad?
Yes, I cried a little in places. No, it was, yes, I thought it was good. A lot of paper.
Because it's funny,
story, isn't it?
yes, because my little 7-year-old sister, she went to see it, you know, on the opening night, and she was crying at the end, so I thought obviously it got through to her.
Oh, yes. And Michael Crawford's performance is stunning, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You'd never think it was Michael Crawford.
I know, my manager said that you don't see his face at all, and the bits you do see, it obviously doesn't look like him because he's got this latex makeup on.
Well,
maybe it isn't him.
Actually, he could easily put his understudy in and no one would know with that.
But I feel so sorry for him in a way, because it takes him 2 hours to put that makeup on, and he can't, he
Do you think
has
it'll
to
get
drink
faster?
through a straw and everything.
I mean, will he be able to get it down to like an hour?
I don't think so.
Really? So that's a big time of your day, isn't it?
So we have there Andrew being presented to the Princess of Wales.
Oh, this was your...
And Michael Crawford still in his mask and makeup offering a flower. This is the gala night on Wednesday.
Oh, I say.
Actually, she
is
looked
unbelievable.
really beautiful that night. She had this amazing dress on. I think she'd had it specially
That's
made.
Michael Crawford, is it?
No, yes, and that's Steve Barton standing next to him, the one whose song he took. No, that's not him.
No.
That's Janet.
Yeah, she was great.
I can't wait to see it. I must admit, I can't wait to see it because I know that you're doing Wednesday matinees.
Yes.
And there are a couple of shows in town that I can't wait to see. Chess is another one. And I want to say Les Miserables.
Les Miserables. It's difficult if you're doing a musical of your own to go and see someone else's, of course. And to have a record in the top 10 for a musical that you haven't seen yet must be very frustrating.
And I'm not in. I mean, everyone says I'm not in Phantom.
You see, rush across from the Dominion, across to Her Majesty.
But the nice thing is that I signed to do time for a year. But the first 6 months I signed to do the matinees, and then the second 6 months I decided I wouldn't do the matinees. But in fact, I enjoy the matinees quite a bit, so I'm doing the Saturday matinees, but not the Thursday.
Yeah.
Which means that now I have Thursday afternoons free. I will be able to catch up on a number of shows like Chess and Les Miserables.
By your afternoon off, you might not want to go to the theatre.
Oh, no, I will. Oh, yes,
Great.
I will.
We have some questions from the gang over here. Have we got a couple of questions, Vicky?
What age were you when you started to sing?
How old was I when I started to sing? I think I was singing practically when I was born, for a long time.
Well, I just came out shouting, I think. So I've been singing since I was about 13, I think, but really got keen into it when I heard Elvis, which meant I was 14 or 15 at the time.
Natalie, you've got a question, haven't you?
I would like to be a singer and actress. Please, could you give me some advice on how to go about it?
Well, I think probably first of all, you have to find yourself go to your singing teacher at school. Do you have music lessons there? Well, probably that's the best place to start. And if they say you have any talent or are good at it, they'll then tell you sort of where to go. And the same with the acting. If you have an acting teacher at school, do the same with that.
Yes, get involved in all the... Because you must have been involved in, but I didn't have singing lessons, as you can tell, but Sarah did, and you can tell that too.
You did.
But the drama society at school was really good. I mean, I always think that my first taste for stage came by joining the drama society and playing... I played Ratty. Everyone says it was typecasting.
Like
Totally Toad Hall.
Did you play Ratty?
Yes, I played Ratty.
Did you sing that song about Down Among the Back?
No, I didn't do that, but I did play Ratty.
Yeah. So you get all this lovely experience by doing stage production, school production. So that's the way to start.
Gives you the confidence as well, doesn't it? It gives that confidence you need to do anything, to sing or act or dance.
Yeah.
Great, good questions, and we have some prize picks from last week. Wheeled over here by Thoran and Atal. Is that how you pronounce your names? Yes. Great, just about right. Here, let's wheel them over there.
What do we do?
Well, we pick the prizes, starting with the yellow one, which is Wayne Sleep's prize pick, the ballet shoes.
Do you want Sarah to pick or me?
Somebody could, oh, you're nearest to that one.
All right.
Nearer. Wayne Sleep's ballet shoes could be finding their way under your bed. Which was the first West End show Wayne Sleep appeared in?
It was...
The answer was...
Cats.
It was Cats.
And this is from Kirsty Pugh, aged 8, from Derbyshire.
Right, marvellous. Hang on to that one. But you can come a bit closer, otherwise we won't get you in shot. Right, and the second one, the Monkeys prize, pick the one in the middle, whoever can reach. Can you do that, Sarah?
I'll do that one.
What are the real names of the four people who
Yeah.
played in the Monkeys? Mickey Dolenz, Peter Tork, Davy Jones and Mike Nesmith. They win all the Monkeys stuff. Who is it?
Right, the Monkeys. Where are we?
Naomi Gibb.
Oh, yes.
It's Naomi Gibb.
Naomi Gibb.
You thought Mike
That's
Nesmith
it.
had won
No,
for a moment,
I did, yes. You're right. Sorry, I couldn't read this.
Naomi Gibb from Fort William in Inverness, so well done to you. And finally, the 5-star prize pick, in what country was Love Talk Over video film? The answer was Ibiza in Spain. What have you want to pick in there? Go on your closest. Go on, dip your hand and have a swirl around. All the 5-star goodies going to this person. Who is it? Sarah Donson from Thornton, Nick Blackpool in Lancashire. So, well done to you. Ibiza is the answer. And you're coming on the pop panel a bit later, aren't you? Have a look at some other people's videos. Must have been great working with pro singers like that.
It was wonderful, I tell you. I mean, Sarah Brightman doesn't stand a chance.
Is there any truth in the wicked rumours going around you're either going to do summer holiday with them or the young ones, maybe?
There's no truth. I mean, it was obvious that the rumours would fly, but I think we all agreed that that was such a one-off record, you know, and it would be really hard to try and follow it. And it was a charity record, after all. If someone came up with another idea that was totally different, I think it would be worthwhile chasing. But to do summer holiday, I think, would be wrong.
Yeah. We talked about Phantom earlier and the song you've got with Sarah in the top 10 at the moment, but Time's still doing well, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Bounding
we've become establishment, I suppose, having done 6 months now.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really, really good. We've played to over 250,000 people now in 6 months. So, but then everyone forgets that our theatre's really big, so I suppose that kind of capacity allows you to have those kind of statistics.
And you've got another 6 months to run yourself, have you?
I'm going to do another 6 months, and then I'll probably die.
Who's going to take over from you? Do you know yet?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Dave Clark keeps things very close to his chest, and I think probably rightly so. So if he has anybody in mind, he hasn't mentioned it to me. But I only signed to do the 1 year in Britain, and then the following year I'm going to spend some time touring, actually.
Right. Good. And playing tennis?
I should be playing tennis. In fact, I was playing tennis until I was cleaning my teeth yesterday, and I pulled a muscle in my back. How'd you do that? How can
I
that
did mine
happen?
playing tennis earlier on in the
did you?
week. Trapped a nerve.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, no, I should say,
Really
because I'm doing my
painful.
tournament, my tennis tournament, on the
Yes, very
21st of December.
And Ronnie Corbett's playing, I believe.
Yes, we've got Ronnie Corbett and Peter Cook.
To lower the net.
Well, we're going to probably check the net height with Ronnie. I'm sure he won't mind. And we're at the same old venue, the Brighton Conference Centre.
I hear Owen Paul might play as well, is that right?
No, I don't think he is now. We're still trying to find this fourth mystery guest.
Oh, I see.
And in fact, it was originally going to be the guy who leapt up in the charts. Is it Nick Barry?
Oh, yes, Nick Barry, yeah.
Yeah. But he's got a pantomime to do. And he may have been called away for rehearsals on that very Sunday, and of course we couldn't take the chance that he just suddenly wouldn't turn up.
Always good to have a mystery guest, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Leaves it open to the last
But
minute.
we're going to get somebody good. I'm already talking to someone that would be wonderful for it. Absolutely wonderful.
Somebody obviously not as good as yourself, which is...
No, but I've tried to choose people who can't play so
Obviously.
I can win the darn thing.
Well, I know, that's the only reason I play. Listen, you've got a couple of hellos there.
Oh, yes. If I can say hello to the second Tony Pandy Brownie pack, it's a special thank you to Barbara Brown Owl, from Trudy, Tawny Owl, and Keith for arranging everything. They'll know what this is about. And if I can just mention, my fan club get together, and because it's my birthday next week, they've got a kind of cliff week starting tomorrow, and they're going to run... Well, no,
We'll all hear about it on the radio.
They're going to walk a 10-mile walk around Regent's Park, so I just want to wish them all the best. It's tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Right, trying to raise money for charity, so well done.
They're going to try and raise 10 grand this time.
Okay, well, let's hope they do it. I'm sure you will. If you're out there, support them or join in. Right, let's take some calls then. Michelle Cooper. I think that was yours. Michelle, you're through to Cliff.
Hello, Cliff.
Hello, Michelle.
Did you go to church when you were little? And if so, were you a child who messed about a lot, or were you good?
Oh, well, yes, I did go to church when I was very little, because I don't know if you know, but I was born in India. And English people who lived in India tended to socialize quite often at the church. So I was sent off to church, and I sang in the choir. I remember having a red and white robe, and I'm afraid we did mess about a bit.
Yes, you do lose attention a little when you're a kid, don't you?
Yeah, I think sometimes church services are perhaps a little too long for someone who's just 6 or 7, and you twiddle your thumbs a bit, you know, and the vicar tends to go on a bit, so you start throwing, you know, chewing gum around or whatever, you know.
Smashing. Thanks for your call. We move on to Emma Marshall. Emma, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, you're through to Cliff.
Hello. If you could be someone else for the day, who would you be?
Michael Crawford, so I could sing with Sarah Brightman every night.
Oh.
Well, just for one night, because it would only be one day, wouldn't it?
Who would you be?
Joan Collins, I think.
Sorry?
Joan Collins.
Why would you be Joan Collins?
So I could earn hundreds of pounds and wear all
hundreds of pounds. Joan must earn hundreds, I reckon.
You must pick the day, of course, that she does her dynasty, because she gets such a lot for doing one instalment.
Yeah.
So if you choose your day correctly, you can get the day she gets paid.
Yeah.
Listen, thanks for your call. We have some more in a moment, but I know you brought a bargain with you, which we have to get through.
Oh, yeah. Well,
loads of goodies.
A very special bargain.
A very special bargain.
A book compiled and written by...
I know him.
Do you?
Yes.
Well, most people try not to, but
yes,
there's that book available. Actually, Mike, I think you've done a real good job. It's quite interesting, the fact that it's made out like a diary from the day of my birth.
And you can find out what you did.
Well, that's right. There's things I'd forgotten. You'd got things, you dug out old diary stuff like Lunch with Bobby V. Those of you who don't know, Bobby V was a real top pop singer way back in the 50s, 60s. And I'd forgotten all about things like that.
Well, see, you shouldn't have written them all in your diaries.
I know. I've also got a touring jacket. When we go on tour, everybody has a jacket and they all have their name monogrammed on the front. And I hate having, you know, like Cliff on the front. So I always put me on tour. So this is me jacket.
Right.
So that's that.
That's
and also, both Nick Kershaw and I were involved in a record that's coming out very soon. The anti-heroin thing. Say no to a fix.
An fix.
Yeah. Live-in world, and I brought this T-shirt along if anybody's interested. Well, if you win it, you'll get it. There you go.
There you go, whether you're interested or not. And the book, which is out next month, so it's a real first copy, which you'll scribble in, won't you? I'm
sure.
Yeah, I'm
sure I will.
And we have a bargain. We have the bargain. We have a question as well.
Well, I thought the question ought to be something about time, really. I seem to have lived and slept time for so long. In the play Time, there is a character played by Sir Laurence Olivier. He appears as this great holographic effect, which is truly stunning. I want to know the character's name in the play Time.
The character that Laurence Olivier plays in Time, answers on a postcard to Saturday Superstore, BBC Television, London, W12 8QT. Good luck, all these could be yours. The me jacket that you can walk down the street in, the book and the anti-heroin T-shirt could be yours if you can answer that question. Good luck, and a couple more calls I think we have time for.
Okay.
We have Claire Rose on the line. Good morning, Claire.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, Claire.
Hi.
Hi.
Right, I'd just like to ask Cliff, did you enjoy working with the young ones, and did they embarrass you at all?
Yes and no. Yes, I liked working with them, and no, they didn't embarrass me at all. Funnily enough, when I first got asked to do the record, I thought to myself, oh, crumbs, I don't know whether I could stand this. But of course, you know, we forget, what they play on the screen, they're very clever actors, you see. I mean, those are characters they play. So when I met them personally, of course, they were just normal people that were sort of looked like everyday actors to me. And we came to an understanding that they wouldn't embarrass me, and they didn't. And as you see from the record, it was great fun. I loved it. The video was great fun to shoot. And of course, we were doing it for charity, so the fact that it was a #1 over here was a real bonus, because although I thought we'd perhaps get in the top 10, I didn't dream it would be #1. But it was great fun working with them, and if we had a chance to do something quite different, but, you know, similar, if you know what I mean, I'd jump at it.
Okay, we've got time for one more quickie from Sarah Gibbs.
Hello, Cliff.
Hello.
Who was your favourite group in the 60s?
My favourite group in the 60s, oh crumbs, there were so many. I guess I'd have to go along with the masses of people that love the Beatles. I didn't like absolutely everything they did, but if you played me Rubber Soul or Revolver, those two albums, I think they would have been my favourite albums from the 60s.
Right, good question. Thanks for your call. Sorry it was a quickie, and sorry if you couldn't get through. Cliff, thank you very much for coming on.
Pleasure,
Thanks for
mate.
your bargain. Thanks for answering the questions. We'll be back in a moment to say goodbye, but first of all, it's time to go back to Slough and Keith. And we have our final video coming up, which is a real wild one. I know Cliff's going to sing along with. This is Little Richard and Operator. We'll see you. Well, you can all sing along with it if you like. And we'll see you next week from another Superstore, so join us then. I'll see you on the wireless tonight and tomorrow morning.
Cool. Bye-bye, everybody.
Designed to get young people to say no to drugs.